Russian forces once again targeted Ukraine's second-largest city, Kharkiv, a day after 7 glide bombs were dropped over the Kharkiv region. At least 4 people were killed in a Russian drone attack on Kharkiv. Regional Governor Oleg Sinegubov claimed that 3 of the dead were children. In a Telegram post, he wrote that 2 one-year-old boys and a 2-year-old girl died in the attack in the town of Bogodukov, about 60 kilometers west of Kharkiv. He also added that a 34-year-old man who was with the children in a house was also killed. A 74-year-old woman was injured and is receiving medical care. This was the second consecutive attack on Kharkiv by Russia. On February 9, the Ukrainian administration claimed that the Russian military dropped 7 glide bombs on the Derhachi community in Kharkiv Oblast. 4 bombs hit Tsupivka and 3 bombs hit Dubivtsi village, reported the local administration of Kharkiv. The Derhachi community in Ukraine is adjacent to the Russian border and is frequently attacked by Russia. In Tsupivka, the Russian bombardment damaged 50 residential houses and outbuildings. The Russian attack on Dubivtsi damaged 15 households. Meanwhile, Russian forces thwarted Ukraine's attempt to carry out a drone attack in the Volgograd region in the western part of the country. Andrei Bocharov, governor of Volgograd, announced that Russian air defense systems intercepted a Ukrainian drone attack aimed at energy infrastructure in the city of Volsky. The governor described the attack as massive, claimed damage was caused to an apartment, and noted that a fire broke out at a factory. According to him, there were no casualties. Nearly 15,000 civilians have been killed in Ukraine and more than 40,000 injured in almost 4 years of war, according to a report published early last month. With more than 2,500 civilians killed, 2023 was the deadliest year since 2022, when the war broke out.
Kharkiv and Sumy, 2 regions in northeastern Ukraine, are once again at the center of a rapidly shifting front line. With each passing day, Russian military pressure is tightening, and fears are growing that these territories could be pushed toward long-term occupation or even de facto annexation if current trends continue. According to statements from Russia's Ministry of Defense, Russian forces have recently taken control of 2 settlements along the border zone. In the Sumy region, units from the so-called North Military Group reportedly established control over the village of Sidarovka. At the same time, forces from the Zapad Group claimed the capture of Glushkovka in the Kharkiv region. These advances, if confirmed, signal more than just tactical movement. They point to a broader strategy Moscow has openly articulated, the creation of what President Vladimir Putin has called a security buffer zone along Russia's border with Ukraine. Kharkiv and Sumy sit squarely within that vision. Russian officials say Ukrainian forces suffered heavy losses during these engagements and report continued strikes on fuel, energy, and transport infrastructure used by Ukrainian troops. Air defense systems, Moscow claims, intercepted dozens of Ukrainian drones over the same period. Ukraine, meanwhile, disputes many of these figures and continues to report ongoing resistance in the area. What is clear is that the intensity of fighting in both regions is increasing. Villages close to the border are becoming battlefields, civilians are being displaced, and administrative control on the ground is growing more fragile by the day. Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, has long been a strategic prize. While the city itself remains under Ukrainian control, rural areas of the region are under constant pressure. Sumy, often described as a quieter front earlier in the war, is now seeing a sharp escalation in military activity. For residents, the concern is not only the sound of artillery or drones overhead, it is the uncertainty of what comes next. Prolonged Russian control, even without formal annexation, could mean new borders drawn by force, restrictions on movement, and the erosion of Ukrainian governance. As the war grinds on, Kharkiv and Sumy stand on a knife's edge. Whether these regions remain contested, stabilize under Ukrainian defense, or slip further under Russian control may shape the next phase of the conflict and redefine the map of northeastern Ukraine. The situation is fluid, the claims are contested, and the consequences are profound.
The Russian Defense Ministry reports that Battle Group North has seized control of the settlement of Chuganovka, a small village but one that signals Moscow's grinding push forward. Every inch of territory matters, every move reshapes the battlefield, and every strike sends a message. Russia is asserting control. Across Ukraine, air defenses flare and cities tremble under repeated strikes. Missiles, drones, artillery, firepower that Moscow says targeted over 150 Ukrainian positions in just 24 hours. According to Russian reports, Ukrainian forces suffered heavy losses, over 1,300 personnel in a single day. Battle Group North inflicted more than 210 casualties, Battle Group East over 430, and Battle Group Center nearly 280. The Russian Defense Ministry also announced massive strikes on Ukraine's energy and transport infrastructure, including military-industrial facilities. Kinzhal hypersonic missiles joined drones and conventional artillery in attacks Moscow calls retaliation for Kyiv's terrorist actions. For Ukrainians, the strikes are not confined to the front lines. Cities face rolling blackouts, supply lines are disrupted, and morale is tested. Chuganovka may seem small, but in the larger conflict, these incremental gains allow Russia to consolidate positions, prepare logistics, and pressure Ukraine across multiple fronts. Meanwhile, the West is not unified. Tensions grow among NATO allies over how far support should go, and debates rage about Ukraine's long-term security. Aid packages, sanctions, and battlefield strategies are scrutinized like never before. Amid this, political voices in the U.S. are adding pressure. With President Donald Trump setting a dramatic deadline, summer, to end the war. A timeline that looms over every military and diplomatic move. For Vladimir Putin, these advances are more than tactical. They are a statement of momentum, a signal that Russia intends to shape negotiations from a position of strength. Ukraine is under attack, but the pressure is not only on Kyiv, it is on the West, on NATO, and on global diplomacy. Divide and indecision could shift the balance, even as Ukrainian forces continue to resist. The battlefield is expanding, the map is changing, and Moscow is methodically exploiting every crack in the armor. But this is not just about strategy or politics. Civilians feel the impact every day. Rolling blackouts, disrupted transport, and the fear of escalation weigh on ordinary Ukrainians, even far from Chuganovka. Every artillery strike, every drone incursion, every missile landing in infrastructure sends shockwaves through communities. Families huddle in shelters, cities shudder, and the human toll grows with each passing hour. Moscow's push in Kharkiv, the growing toll on Ukraine, and the widening political divide in the West set the stage for a critical summer.